Like how this individual's head was, and I didn't like how uh, I didn't like the one ad that I got in the mail one day that Dr. Mehmet Oz was gonna, create, or the mail. The image on the mail that I received was Dr. Mehmet Oz prescribing some kind of election anxiety pill that was prescribed by Mehmet Oz, which I've never even heard of election anxiety pills, which I was like, I was looking at that image on my mail that I received, and I said, like, man, this guy has got to be very, very crazy. This guy, Dr. Mehmet Oz, has got to be super crazy. And not just as a Republican, but, as a crazy individual. Dr. Mehmet Oz, that doesn't make him a crazy Republican. It just makes him a crazy individual. If they're crazy Republicans and Democrats in both parties, and they've got something wrong with their heads, then that means they're not fit to be serving in this country. Meaning, crazy Republican and crazy Democrats are not fit to be sitting in the House of Congress, or crazy to actually be a chairman in Congress, or crazy to actually be running as governor in a certain state here in the United States, or being president or vice president, or being a member of the president's cabinet, both Republican and Democrat. Both parties get elected for, to be like seated in the House of Congress or the Senate, or being governor, or whatever the case is, being a member of the president's cabinet, being president of the United States for at least 2 terms, or maybe even 1 term. President Trump got to serve 1 term, to 4 years. And why did he lose the election? Well, people kind of pretty much grew sick and tired of this guy. And they said, okay, this crazy Republican individual, yeah, he needs to go. Yeah, he needs to go because he's crazy, narcissist, and a total racist, and this guy had not been fit to actually run this country for a 2nd term, and this guy, former 45, had to leave the White House. Donald J. Trump was the most crazy individual that America has had to put up with. And there are a lot of people on Dr. Phil that are completely crazy and insane, and maybe even a narcissist. In fact, there's even crazy individual drunk people. There's absolute crazy individual drunk people. So, um, crazy individuals, um, they're everywhere. Not just the U.S. They're everywhere. So the next time that election comes around, people may not even realize how crazy the people that uh, certain people that they elect may have their brain functioning just as well, like they've got nothing wrong with them, or in the near future they could end up having some serious problems with their brain as they age. And then there are other people who would elect crazy people because they themselves are crazy individuals that would actually want to vote for crazy people to run the country. Now, this can affect both parties. Now, I'm going to say the truth here because this is what the people need to hear. There are crazy individuals everywhere. Now, I gotta be honest with you. Every time I see a crazy individual, like, if I see like a crazy Democrat or a crazy Republican, or some crazy Republican individual, your opinion could be, even my opinion could be, like, hey, this guy's not fit to run this not to be, serving this country or even run this country. Because there's some Democrats and Republicans that believe that the country should be run like a certain way and have some crazy ideas that, okay, this is how the United States should actually be run. Or, this is what should actually happen in America and for the American people. Or, some kind of crazy, messed up thinking. Now, it's not always going to be a crazy idea that either a Republican or Democrat's going to have, but, a lot of people may not even like the idea. I mean, they don't deserve to be called crazy. They may just call them crazy because they just don't like the idea of what one individual in both the Democrat or Republican Party want to do. They may just call them crazy because they just don't like a specific person in both parties. Or, it could be just because the crazy individual who probably voted for somebody would think that there are certain people that would probably be, crazy based on what party they're in. I mean, that's pretty messed up. But, if there are crazy individuals that want to call, if there are crazy voters out there that want to vote for crazy, insane people and that stuff, where they would believe that the, I'm not even going to say it, but if there are crazy voters out there that want to vote for crazy people to run in both the Republican or Democrat Party and that stuff, that means these people got something wrong with their head. If there is crazy people out there that probably vote for, not all the time, are there going to be Republicans and Democrats that have complete messed up brains, but if a crazy person, if a crazy voter wanted to vote for crazy Democrats and Republicans for whatever, to seat them in Congress, or, try to get them voted into Congress, or to be elected as governor, or, run as a member in the U.S. Senate, or, be president of the United States, then these crazy people are free to do so. Is everybody gonna like what putting up with it? Well, there are crazy individuals everywhere. Now, I apologize for bringing up this kind of a topic, but I mean, seriously, people want to just, relax, and they want to. There are a lot of people that just, hate how crazy, especially politicians. There are people that would just hate how crazy politicians will want to try to run this country. And I apologize for bringing this up. I don't want to even offend anybody in this video, because it's very damaging to be calling somebody crazy. But at the same time, now, this is not an excuse, but it's reality. There are crazy individuals everywhere. Now, why can't we just ignore how many problems are here in the United States that are caused by, not all the time, by crazy individuals on both Republican and Democrat in the Democrat and Republican Party, but even if there was a proper Republican or a proper Democrat that ran as President of the United States in this country, and there was a Republican or Democrat that made a decision that, or passed some kind of executive order that, a lot of people didn't like, how one person, Democrat or Republican, if they didn't like how an individual Republican or Democrat as President of the United States if there were certain people that didn't like how an individual in either the Democrat or Republican Party, if they didn't like um, if they didn't like if they didn't like if they if they didn't like um their taxes being raised and that stuff, well, that's not excuse me. That's just not that's not crazy. If a Democrat wanted to raise taxes, well, that might that may anger people. But each individual is different. Maybe there are Democrats out there that would do something that Republicans do. I mean, Democrats and Republicans can work together. It's not just one party that works alone. Sometimes there are Democrats and Republicans that can work together, and then there are Democrats that are, or Democrats and Republicans that have those functioning brains and know how to work together as a team to make sure that America is one of the greatest countries to actually be in for the American people. Both Democrats and Republicans can work together. Now, maybe Trump alone only worked for his own party, Republican, and Trump himself had pretty much believed that Nancy Pelosi was crazy because Nancy Pelosi was a Democrat, and Trump, as we all know, pretty much kind of hated pretty much everyone, almost. And Trump was a narcissist. He was completely insane. And, a lot of insane people, like a lot of insane, crazy individuals, even if they're drunk or a narcissist or whatever, a lot of these people get interviewed by Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil wants to get these crazy, insane people professional help. And sometimes these crazy individuals just don't even want to. They'll think it's just all about them, nobody else. And this is crazy too, but there is somebody that goes on Dr. Phil and they said, this isn't my show. This is all about me. And, that this person who says this kind of stuff on Dr. Phil is crazy and has a messed up brain and doesn't want serious help. And Dr. Phil isn't gonna put up with this kind of stuff. Dr. Phil is saying like, okay, you know what? Go. I don't want to do, like, he doesn't want to deal with this kind of stuff. When you are interviewing crazy people and they like to give you a bunch of problems and that stuff, sometimes there's a line that's drawn where Dr. Phil or whoever's interviewing this crazy individual is going to say, you know what, alright, you know what, you don't want to cooperate anymore with me on getting help and that stuff. I can't force you to get help. Uh, just, just, just go. Just go. I don't want to deal with it anymore. You're causing me way too much stress, and this is not something that, you know, the person going to want to even put up with. And they can't put up with a crazy, insane person's behavior. Even a Karen. It's pretty bad to be dealing with Karen. It's bad to be dealing with crazy, insane individuals. Now, Joe Biden himself is not crazy. A lot of people may not like the ideas that he has for the plans. Let me just slow down here a bit. People may not like the ideas of what Joe Biden has to be running the country as President of the United States up to 2024. And if he's reelected, he may have more plans to run the country that may not sound as crazy. People may not like his ideas for his future plans for the country here in the United States. He may not like, or a lot of people may not like how Joe Biden is the president. People might think Joe Biden is crazy. But, you know, a lot of people, when they age, they know how to be, you know, a proper grown-up. And they know the proper way to actually, you know, keep the American people safe and, you know, keeping everybody safe here in the United States. And keeping other countries safe. It's not a benefit for the President of the United States to be making good decisions. It not only benefits the United States, but it can benefit other countries as well. Now, if there is, you know, a president that would, you know, order the military to actually go up and blow other countries up, well, there may end up being a good reason. There may not. It depends. I can't say that the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki was you know, very, very positive for the United States. I can't say that. It happened in history, the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And yeah, the U.S. did bomb those two cities in Japan. Was it bad? Was it good? I can't say. But the bombing of Pearl Harbor was pretty bad. And the Japanese were pretty much mad of the fact that the U.S. bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki back in the past. But I could pretty much say maybe there was crazy people in the military. I mean, it's a bad thing to say, but I apologize for offending people for saying that. But if there are crazy people in the military, then they at least need to get, thrown out of the military. And they need to, get some serious help. I mean, not a lot of times are you going to get crazy, insane people to be either, it doesn't matter, to be either being a part of the U.S. Senate, being a part of Congress, being president of the United States, or a member of the president's cabinet, or either running in the military or business, whatever. There's always somewhere along the line there's going to be crazy, insane individuals who are just not fit to be running stuff. And that's what I want to be saying in this video. Long video, I know. I'm deeply sorry for the people who have been offended by what I said in this video. But what I said in this video, well, it's reality. People don't like facing the truth about what is going on in our reality here in life and that stuff. Well, again, I want to say I apologize that people don't want to hear this. It's the truth. We have crazy, insane, narcissistic, maybe, insane, crazy, narcissist people running the country, or, in business or whatever. Maybe there are just people that are, very crazy, insane, and have something wrong with their head, that they may just not be fit to actually be running this stuff anymore. This is John Morris. Have a good day. There are crazy individuals everywhere. Depending on who you vote for, you may not know what kind of brain they may have. They may be somebody with smart thinking, or they may have something wrong with their head and you may not realize it. And that could determine what would happen in the future in elections. And it could determine the future of the country. This is John Morris. Have a good day. I will see you on my next video. And apologies for offending people on this video, but what I said was the absolute truth about reality. This is John Morris. Have a good day. I will see you all in my next video. Have a good day. I will see you all later. Bye.